Test, check. Test, check. Final. Test, check. Uh-oh. Oh, whoops. Okay, well, show's about to start and the music just cuts. So now all you got is my background voice. Oh, crap.
Booking.com has all kinds of stays because a city hotel is right for some. But
I'm not doing advertisements. Alright. I think I'm back. Actually, hi. Hold on. Wow. I haven't heard that intro in a while. So, I'm here. I'm back. I'm discussing. So, talking about Mandalorian and Grogu, which saw it yesterday. Hold on. I think I got background. It is. I think the volume level is fine. That's what I did that for. That's what that was for. I have a vertical canvas set. For some reason, it does not want me to multi-stream anything or whatever. Oh well. So, I'm here to discuss my thoughts on the Mandalorian and Grogu movie. Saw it yesterday, opening day, daughter, 3:30 in the afternoon. I had a reaction, and maybe it'd be best if I got background information on myself on why maybe you should listen to me. I've been a Star Wars fan since as long as I can remember, since probably like 96, so I would be 3 if anything. And that was started with watching my dad's old VHS tapes, the silver one. He had both. He had the widescreen and the other ones, the VHS of Star Wars. He kept the other ones separately. I just remember you couldn't touch, I think, the other ones. Yeah, like, because he had the original first VHS releases, 1, 2, 3. Then he got the box set. Then he got the other box set. Anyway, I just remember earliest experience of Star Wars with my dad was him taking me out. He doesn't like it because he thinks I've taken that as a as my own thing. As in by own thing, I mean like I did that with my daughter yesterday. I took her out of class 2 hours early just to go see the movie yesterday, and I understand a bit why he did not feel probably great about that, because I think what I'm feeling is probably the way he maybe have felt with episode 1 when he did that with me in '99. So I was 6. If it was 99, I think I might have been 5 actually. I'm 32 right now. So sorry, I'm a late year birthday, so that's just something I gotta deal with. But this movie, I came into it with low expectations, and my low expectations were met, which is not a bad thing. It sounds bad. It sounds very bad. Oh, I just realized that. Not glowing. Oh, it's not like that's too important right now. But yeah, the movie, you can see online the backlash of the movie, with it being like, oh, this is what Kathleen Kennedy's last film that she's really taking part in. I really hope that is the story, because this does seem like it had a hand in it. Whether or not be like, see, I took back my hand, just don't touch my finger, kind of whatever. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. I went in with low expectations. That was my gist. I tried not to read anything like negative, be like, oh, here are the early reviews and whatnot. No, I did not pay attention to those. I went in for myself. I'm a big Star Wars fan. My basement's all covered with Star Wars stuff. It almost got me bad. It almost got me bad with the popcorn bucket. It was the AT-AT popcorn bucket. $80. Fuck that. I was prepared to drop the fucking dime. But yeah, it didn't go. Cause I didn't, well, first of all, it would have probably ruined my choices. So always, if you are spend responsibly. That, if anything, would be we got ourselves, on the other hand. So we have ourselves our incline with the Clone Wars movie. Start point here. Clone Wars, your main everything Star Wars that you probably would love about it. Then we have Mando season 1. I feel like we're heading in that direction if, and here's the only reason why I say if, Kathleen Kennedy was still involved, in my opinion. Okay? However, I will say Dave Filoni did not inspire confidence in this movie, because it felt like some parts of this movie would be better off played as animation. Okay? That's my opinion. Okay? There are moments in this movie that probably would be better as animation. I don't know how else to say this, but it starts off with, if you okay, so background on what I've seen is that I've seen the trailer, the first trailer. I think I've seen the second trailer, and I saw the Disney Plus preview with my daughter, and that was more or less it. I think I've seen a couple other videos talking about it. Maybe the Critical Drinker. I think I only watched half of it. I'm like, okay, I shouldn't be watching this, for the reason of keeping my own expectations as a Star Wars person open. Okay? Do I think that's do I think I was influenced by things outside? Yes. If, like anybody on the internet, you are influenced by something outside. I, however, with this Star Wars episode, or Star Wars Mandalorian, I understand what they were trying to do with the first scene of setting up of where these two were, but we haven't seen them since season 3, and if you haven't seen them since season 3, that's a long time. If you haven't watched it since then, and you're like, okay, coming into it, that's probably what I think Disney was probably expecting with this movie. It was like, people haven't seen it. This has been a long time since we've had a Star Wars movie. We haven't seen these characters in a while. I think the closest to that time frame we've gotten was Ahsoka. So, well, technically it would be the Skeleton Crew. But even so, like, that doesn't really have a crossover point, in my opinion. I don't think. I mean, I might. I mean, I guess there is the pirate. What's his name? I know who he is. The pirate who he jumps ship from Greenbeard from the Mandalorian season 3 to the Skeleton Crew. So he jumped ship from there. There's your crossover. However, he's not a Weequay. Or is he a Weequay? I think he's a Weequay. I don't know. He's a pirate. He's not a Weequay. But either way, I feel like there were things going against this movie that would have helped. I think it's like because I felt like the stories in the seasons were bigger, or they are bigger, and they are, and like it makes sense. They have longer run times. They have a longer story. They have a whole season to go through, whereas a movie, you're just jumping from point to point to point. And I don't know. Let's put it this way. Me and my daughter just got done watching the Mandalorian and Grogu movie yesterday. We just got done watching Mandalorian season 3 this last weekend and this last weekend on last Friday. And so we've gone through this just recently. I was making sure hey, we gotta get through this so we can get you up to date where we are in the show. My daughter put it very well like this. I asked her, do you think it would have helped that to know what happened in the show or anything with the show to lead into this? And she said, that's granted, that's not saying anything. She's put her hand to the side and wiggled it. Anyway, that's awful. You are in perfect middle ground when it comes down to capturing your audience. That is not capturing your audience. That is isolating your audience. Why? Because nobody's happy. You have people who love The Mandalorian, diehard, sure. Oh, it's just, you have them diehard fans of playing it safe, or not playing it safe, but being like, do what you know, do what we can. And then you have the people that say, try something new. And all that. You have that fan base going against one another, which is basically the Rian Johnson, The Last Jedi people versus OGs, I guess, if you will. And why am I putting it like that? Because that was a new movie. It was the newest movie of all of them. You call the other ones OGs because they were first. Either way, I'm caught into crosshairs of this. This is middle ground. I'm not happy with the movie. I'm not happy with the movie. I would say, honestly, I would give it a 6 out of 10. That's my final verdict. I'm just gonna say that. My thoughts on the movie, again, I've been saying this for a bit now, but Grogu I think was the best part of this movie, whereas you have other elements of this movie which seemed pushed in. I don't know, what am I trying to say? Pushed in. Zeb, I think, could have done more. I think he did do more. I'm just trying to think, but there wasn't more Zeb. I mean, character. Zeb was not. he was in it, but the Zeb, like, I know you see his personality in the Clone Wars. You know who he is. You saw it in the trailer. I like this kid. Sure. That's fine. You could like the kid. By the way, not who you think he's referencing. Still, you don't get enough of what I think people wanted from Zeb. What I wanted from Zeb. I was excited to see Zeb. I was excited to see Zeb in Mandalorian season 3, I think. Or was it? Is it season 3 or Boba Fett? They mix. But we had that. We sorry, give me this. I'm losing my train of thought on that. If you want to leave a comment, let me remind me of what I just was saying. Zeb, I wanted more of. There was not enough character of Zeb. You know who he is. You think you get here like something like, okay, Zeb's in. He's a rebel. He's part of the New Republic. And the best line to describe it, and the best line of the movie for probably who Zeb is, I think was, I can't even say it. It's at the end of the movie, but it's that scene with him and the other person going into the rebel, or not rebel, into the New Republic tent, whatever. I thought that was okay. Yeah, that's your reference. Yes, that is your reference, but that's your area, okay? But the only other line that really showcased Zeb, and I'm getting picky on Zeb right now, is that line I said earlier. I like this kid. That otherwise Zeb is there. The ship is just there. It feels like oh crap, things didn't go as planned in season 3. We need to do something to kind of bring like okay, or how are we going to fit Rada on this thing? We have a small ship. And then they were like, let's fix it with an N1. Well, crap, we can't really do much with that. How are we gonna? He's a bounty hunter. How can we catch bounties on an N1? I don't know what the plan is with that, but it was a nostalgia move. I don't know who approved the N1. It's cool. Maybe Grogu, when he grows up, is it the plan? Like, this is his ship. Maybe. But still, you brought back the ship. It really felt like a Rise of Skywalker moment with, R2's got C-3PO's backup. Okay? It's really at the beginning of the movie. It really is. There's a reason why in the preview on Disney Plus it has Zeb picking him up in a U-wing. Oh yeah, because you can't exactly make a quick escape on the N1 unless you're right there and blah blah. We've seen and probably because we've seen it in Mandalorian season 3 when Grogu has to go to Bo-Katan and rescue Din. Okay, the best character in this whole movie was Grogu. Grogu had the most character development. Yeah, I understand we know these other characters, but we are in a movie for these characters too. Like, it infuriates me. Like, and don't get me wrong, I love the fact that Grogu showed progression from what you've seen from the show to where he is now. That is awesome. That is your Ahsoka moment, if you will. That is your moment from bratty teenager Ahsoka to your unaligned Force user Ahsoka. Okay? Give me that. Grogu has, I think, has done that in this movie. I think the character development there is there. Whether you think it's good or not, I can't tell you. I'm not going to say it for you, okay? The character is there. You have the elements. You have IG-11 or IG-12, depending on which one you want to say, helping raise Grogu. You have Din raising Grogu. You have the Mandalorians raising Grogu. Granted, it doesn't seem like that way after season 3. They're just laying low. New Republic. Technically, Din is still showing them. That's what it really was about. And I really thought something controversial might have happened. Like, something with consequences. If not for the galaxy, for Grogu. Okay? In some version or fashion, I thought there would be something that really would hit Grogu hard. Because it seemed like that's what this movie was kind of trying to focus on. More so than anything Din. There's a good moment where Din, you see in the trailer, Din gets his helmet off and he's like, well, now I have to kill you all. And what happens? Eventually does. I'm not going to say how. I thought it'd be more badass. Or something right off the bat. Something. We do get a classic callback. You know, I love me the prong rifle. I don't know what it's called actually. But it's the one with the fork on the end. The original Boba Fett from the animated thing from 1970s. The one that showed up in season 1. Ooh, blast Jawa and disintegrate. Disintegrating rifle, if you recall. And you know what's funny? I am actually kind of, I think I put some piece together on a little bit of Star Wars lore. Either I'm wrong or I'm right, but I'm going to put it together. Okay? This is going to be a little sidetrack. Mandalorian Season 1. We have Din using that disintegration rifle to try taking out the ATST. Okay? What ends up happening is Cara Dune ends up taking it and shooting the pilot, I think. And that's how he goes, I think. I could be wrong. In this, Din has a disintegrating rifle and fires on a mechanical creature. Okay? And it actually disintegrates it, like rips it, like laser cannon, like self half gone kind of thing. Like, holy crap. That's what I was expecting for Imperial armor to do. Like in that one season, or in that one episode with the ATST, the pirate ATST. So, however, big picture now. Did the Empire ever improve their armor above the rest of, the galaxy, if you will? I think that with the Zillo Beast, I think that did happen. Hence why armor is too strong for blasters, blah blah blah, and hence why when the Hutts have their mechanical creatures, when they shoot it, it's not as hard as an armor. Okay, so there's that. So that's me putting that together. It was like, oh, Hutts don't have as good armor as the ATST, AT-AT armors, I'm assuming. And it's like, that's what I put together there. But then there's also the whole okay, so ATST armor, and then you have Beskar, that's another armor, and then you have whatever metal is put together by the Hutts, and it seems like that's the worst metal. It's like copper on steel, if you will. Chewed up. If you don't know, softer material. Okay, it's if you know how to strip a bolt, it's the same thing. But what else is there to discuss about this movie? Like I said Zeb I didn't get enough of. Grogu was the star, and I think it was rightfully earned. Okay. Din, lacking. I will say that much. Din Djarin, I think, was definitely lacking in this movie. I feel like he could have been more badass. And you know what? I'm right. Okay? It's been going this way. It's like, it is going that way. And maybe stuff. There are badass moments in this, okay? But it's like, okay, last second badass moment. Okay, we saw it in the trailer or the preview, depending on what you saw. But then take that in consideration to your introduction to Mando in episode 1 of season 1. Okay? Explain to me this one, where Mando literally chops a guy in half by the door because he's in his way. The closest brutal thing we have to that, I think, is in season 1 of Book of Boba Fett, which isn't even his show, where he comes in, cuts off the guy's head, or takes out a whole group of guys with the Darksaber. Okay, there's that. Okay, I think that's exactly how you need to portray Mando. But the problem is that Mando is in a... I don't know. You have the kids who like Grogu. You have Mando, who's... If you need to use him like a Mandalorian. Brutal. Hard. And it's... Basically what I expect a Mandalorian is like what I would expect, like what you expect from a Spartan. Like, I'm not saying you have to be all men and you have to kill your babies or anything like that because the weak don't survive. No, I'm expecting the toughness, the discipline, all that, the brutality to win, especially in a galaxy where all costs matter. Okay? Because one day you're here, one day you're next. Whatever, someone shoots you in the back. It's a big galaxy out there. That's a play on Jango Fett. Like, I'm just a simple man making his way through the galaxy. Simple. It's everybody's got their own thing. It's the same way with life, everything like that. Okay. Din in this movie. I'm sorry, that was a big tangent. Din in this movie, I think if he had at least one shot of disintegration on the hut, at least one, and then something would have probably, I think, done this movie a little more better. I think doing something like that would have, because it'd be like, oh, he's really upset by this. Because the problem with the Mandalorian, you got the mask, you have your body actions to show your feelings. That's what you have to do in this. I didn't get a lot of that in this. You know where I got my emotion from? I got it from Grogu. Why? Because got a little slight spoiler. Din is out for a portion of this movie. Now, I'm not saying like he's out for like half the movie. No, he's just out. Like he's just, you do it. There's another thing going on. You do your thing. Like Grogu's doing his thing for Grogu's sake. Okay. I'm not gonna spoil it because if you listen to what I just said and you watch the movie, you'd think that's a terrible description. Which, good. I don't want to spoil it for you. The Din, I like it when Din teaches Grogu things, because it gives you a better bond, I think. And It's hard to say because everybody kept on treating Grogu like a pet food, which, to be fair, is what a lot of things you like. Yes, this is Star Wars. That's what you expect. Yeah, like a Hutt would definitely eat anybody if they could. They're lazy, they're fat, they're a slug, all that. They don't care. They're Hutts. Din, I think, needed to show in this movie because at the end of season 3, Din officially adopts Grogu as his son. So we have Din Djarin and Din Grogu. Okay? I feel like we needed more bonding, if you will, where I'm not a movie maker. I didn't make it. Can I suggest on how to do it? It might not be the best suggestion because I'm not a movie maker. But then again, I'm discussing about a movie that I can't say I would save the series, okay? Or save everything. I think it's just another... Well, we have the IP still. I wish there was more Empire. More Empire stuff. Because the first scene... I feel bad now for watching that. I'm listening to myself, okay? I feel bad now after listening to myself and saying, like, yeah, I've watched the preview on Disney Plus. I feel bad now for watching that because if you wanted to see more of an Empire spiel of what's going on there, you're not gonna get it. You just cannot. You're not gonna get it. It's essentially what you heard at the end of season 3. Oh, we're hunting down ex-Imperials. Just either bring them in cold, bring them alive, blah blah blah. It helps if you bring them in alive. Blah, blah. I don't know. Maybe I've seen too many movies. I don't know. It's my brain's not as young. And that's maybe why, but I'm still watching Star Wars. So what does that make me? Pathetic? Oh, no. And if you think it is, that's not what I think, so that's what matters. But I like seeing, as I've said it before, AT-AT is my favorite Star Wars vehicle. The elephant, if I could, I would love to just love to see the animation process. Probably watch a short film on it after this now. Thanks for that, me. On how the animation of the AT-ATs work. Great. But either way, I'm just trying to say that if you know my channel symbol, the one I use, if you're the one right here, yeah. I drew it trying to draw the rebellion symbol, and I wanted to give it my own spiel. I gave it a mix of between Empire and Rebel. Excuse me. I give it my own mix. And here's the thing: it never originally looked like this, like with the lines or anything like that, the points. It was just the outline of the big black outlines of arrow, that side, this going around, and then this point. Okay? I don't know if you heard that. But either way, I drew that because I remember thinking about drawing the rebellion symbol starting off, hence the roundedness of it, of like the phoenix. Okay? But then I added my own taste, which I like the Empire kind of stuff, so I wanted to give it that dark feel. So like Dark Phoenix. I'm not gonna say like, oh, red, orange, red, blah blah. Not trying to make it an X-Men reference, but that's more like what I wanted, or maybe that's not what I wanted, but because this was way back in 2010, way before I even knew about the New Republic books or anything like that. So yeah, oh wait, no, I was 2012. So even so, but even so, I like my Empire. I want to see. Okay, so if you will, the Clone Wars, both sides, Palpatine playing both sides. You want to know where I am? I'm Palpatine, and I want to see the Rebels and Empire both sides. That's where I'm at. I'm Palpatine, and I wish to see both sides go. But at that point in the Galactic Civil War, it's Palpatine versus Rebels, Mon Mothma, blah blah blah. You know the whole spiel. You know the Imperial Remnant is on the back foot. And let's put it this way. If you've seen Ahsoka season, or if you've seen Ahsoka, the show, there's a big thing at the end of that, which, if you haven't seen it, spoiler alert, Thrawn returns back to the main galaxy. Okay. But now with that, you have Thrawn back in the main galaxy. You think that there would be maybe something with it. I didn't stay for any post credits. I gotta say this. Because I just popped in my head now because I missed it too. There is literally one scene in this movie that literally takes me out of it. Like, it takes me completely out of the movie. It's very like outlandish. It's right after a speeder chase sequence where they're being chased. You know, not super far behind, but enough to get some shots off. Okay, you're being chased back to your ship. You get there, you get off, you go into the ship. You'd think the other people would be like right there, be like, okay, we're not going to just ram you or something. I don't know. Maybe this is just movie magic, but it made no sense for me. Like, oh, they have to start up the ship, they got to hold them off kind of thing. That's what I was expecting. Not, oh, these are stormtroopers that are going to just ram the ship. And by ram the ship, I mean go into the ship with a speeder. Like, I didn't think... Well, first of all, it's like cops chasing people in a getaway vehicle, and we're using cops loosely here because we're talking about stormtroopers, okay? But it's like cops using chasing a suspect on like, say, a scooter or something, an electric scooter. And they're on, I don't know, a four-wheeler, okay? Just go with it, okay? This is the story. They get off, get into a box truck. You have to get it started, and the cop on the four-wheeler just rides up into the back of the box truck where all the other friends are. It threw me off. I'm like, oh, like five, like maybe I think it was the timing of it being like, oh, like 10 seconds have passed and the guys haven't shown up yet, and then when they do show up, they're like, let's ram it. I don't know. Maybe that's the issue I'm dealing with, or I'm thinking of. So. Sorry, that was a big tangent. I had to go on that tangent. It popped in my head. It threw me out of the movie. I can't say that I've had a Star Wars movie throw me out of a movie. I like throw my mindset. Like most of the time I'm stuck in the movie. Like I'm being entertained by it. But when that happened, it threw me off. I was like, I literally moved forward. I was like, what? That happened? I don't know if that's not a good thing in my opinion. Okay, not a good thing. Besides that, Hold on. Give me a sec. It's not a good thing. Okay? I wanted this movie to maybe have a little bit more. I thought this movie would be a setup for something. It felt like another season, but not as well planned. I thought this was like, okay, here's just a side story. In all honesty, you want to know why this movie is the way it's doing? It's because of Disney Plus, the streaming on everything. I'm gonna rant now. I'm gonna go rant. Okay, rant time. This movie is not going to do well for the main reasons I'm about to bring up. The damn freaking streaming services are killing it. Okay? This is a movie, if we had normal cable or whatever, or just regular TV, this would be one of those movies like, oh, Disney DX. Let's just go with that, because that, I think people can understand that a little bit. I don't know. I'm 32. I'm older. I'm thinking of ABC 12 and their Saturday night movies, whereas my daughters are older and blah blah blah. DX, whatever. Getting to the damn point, streaming has taken away the market of watch what you are provided content. Okay? That is the whole reason why those kinds of things are dying. I want to say Sling TV might be there. Like, you have TV shows, unless it's like live TV, I don't think it's going to be as popular as it once was for that reason. Because now you don't get the people who are like, oh, let's just see what's on or whatnot. You might still get those, but they're not young people. They're not new audience. So, ranting, the streaming is making it harder to funnel people into that machine. Okay? Streaming makes it harder to funnel people into your machine. Okay? Mandalorian and Grogu is a TV show. Let's just say this came out, say, mid-2000s, something like that. It doesn't matter what I mean by it. It doesn't even have to be Star Wars. Okay, let's put it that, like, let's say Mandalorian or is a cowboy western, whatever. And it came out then, and then they finally had a movie. The equivalent, I would say, of this movie is a TV movie. It really was, or a straight to video, I think, is what the outline of this movie felt like. Is that it's a show with a big plot overall, whereas this didn't have a big overall plot. This was more getting, again, like in some episodes of The Mandalorian, a side quest. Not to rip on my own name for my podcast. And like, I know I'm doing this on a Friday. No, I'm not going to be streaming next Friday. I'm working next Friday, so sorry. But I should hopefully be streaming next Wednesday. But this is the equivalent of that, I think. It's not bad. I'm not saying it's awful. I said at the very earlier this stream, I said this earlier this stream, I would give this movie a 6 out of 10. Again, it's not, however, it's not big. Didn't seem big screen enough for me. It seemed like the only big screen moments were just the flashy ones, and I get, like, you can't use flashy everywhere in the show because you want to try probably keeping costs down. I know season 3 kind of bumped up the everything when it comes down to flashiness, especially with Moff Gideon at the end there. But that was like a multi-season culmination. This is just one thing, and you added the flashiness. Like, it seemed like something that you should be, like, it seemed like it should be already on Disney Plus. I hate to say that, I really do. That's why I think streaming has ruined the way we can look at movies now. Okay, the movies have been ruined by streaming. And don't get me wrong, I like my streaming. I do it a lot. I watch things, okay? I do go back and rewatch things as well. But you want to know the problem? I rewatch things that I like. Back then, way back when movies were still, I don't know, I can't even say young. They were old at that point. The 90s, 2000s. When VHS came, that was the boost to the sales of movies, okay? Do you remember, like, oh, let's take, for example, Clerks. Today's equivalent for that would essentially be, I want to say today's equivalent, at least in my opinion, is Iron Lung. Completely self-funded. Granted, there's a definite money difference of making and production. It's different times. I'm not going to fault anybody for that, so I'm not saying one's better than the other. But I'm saying is that that's the closest you have to what I mean. So in Clerks got its following after, I want to say after, or maybe I'm thinking of a different movie. It gets its following after the show. I'm thinking of cult classics. Let's just put it that way. Cult classics. They weren't popular when they came out, but after they came out, people's watched it, and hey, yeah, I do understand this. You just need a little bit of understanding of this said product or movie. That's what makes a cult classic. Where's your cult classic now? When is your last cult classic? That's why I say Iron Lung is probably like the last, or is like that. Okay? You don't have, like, you'll have it's the problem with cult classics. Cult classics are, you can call anything a cult classic. But what makes a cult classic different from a fan base is that it's not just everybody who likes it's not just the fans. You have everybody from many different types. It doesn't matter what political orientation you have, doesn't matter what sex you are, does not matter any of that. That is what makes a cult classic. Okay? Because then you do reach the masses, and the masses do reach back. But you can't do that when you're in the middle ground and you reach to everyone and the masses don't reach back. If you don't do that, it's not gonna help. I'm tired right now. You know, it's 11:36. I definitely am streaming early. Like, I went to bed at 1 and I had to get up for the kids. I went in with low expectations. I was hoping for something more. And then I got a story. I don't think it was awful. Not by no means. It was not a bad movie. I'd say it's 6 out of 10. I've said it many times. 6 out of 10 works. It's a story. but it felt like moving from one place to another. Not with weight on something. Not the cost has something towards someone. I said it before. It's in the trailer. Pedro Pascal loses his helmet in this. There's your weight. It's in the trailer. It really doesn't seem more. Doesn't seem really like the characters had any weight into it besides maybe Grogu, yeah. Grogu, I think, had the most character development, yeah. You'd think there would be more with Rada, even with that. Something! This was our first appearance, like, oh yeah, no, this is where Rada's been. I feel like I could have. I feel like it's broken something in me. This movie. I'm not saying it's bad. It's not saying it's good. Again, we're talking about something that's broken that can be fixed. This is mendable, or if anything, be a pretty trooper. If you understand what I mean with that. I love Star Wars. I haven't finished them all. I'm going to. I will say I'm halfway through it. I don't want to say it, but it's better than the movie. The Mall show, I've watched halfway of it. It's better than the movie. But maybe I'm just looking for something in that taste. I don't know. I think I was expecting Mando to be more brutal, if you will, but you have kids. So it's the I don't know. I have a son, so I can understand why you don't want to do that, but I also want to show my son to be strong. And I do get that sense with Din in this movie. But I felt like is definitely safe. Definitely safe in this movie. I'm upset because I don't want to say anything negative about Star Wars. But by the way, I do say negative stuff about Star Wars. I don't like The Last Jedi. I thought The Rise of Skywalker was better than that. Okay, fair. That's my opinion. You want another one of my opinions? I'm Republican, and yet I like Star Wars. I made my channel about that. I love the designs of all that. And yet, here I am, being a Star Wars fan. So, if you don't like it, I don't care. I've been a Star Wars fan since before I was Republican. I've been a Star Wars fan after. I don't give a shit. This is me. If I have to bow down to someone like that over what I like and don't like, then that's not me. I don't give a shit. I'm not you. It's not me. I wanted more, and I feel like I've been I don't know. I've been trying to show my daughter what I have, or what I like. Understand me more. I like Star Wars. I think I did this one once. There's that. Oh, what else? I have all this other crap. My daughter's got a Sabine Wren helmet. I've played Qui-Gon. I made a freaking pod racer for my son that year. Turned his stroller into a pod racer for Halloween. I would have been nice to go to a convention looking like that. I'm fairly certain I would have gotten some compliments, because I got compliments during the Halloween. But either way, it didn't matter what I care, like what people from that matters is my beliefs, and they're that. And if my beliefs are like, hey, yeah, by the way, you shouldn't watch this because of your beliefs. Why? There's beliefs, there's things that people believe, and I don't want to be a part of beliefs that I don't agree with. Okay? I just enjoy a good story. And as I've said, the story was just being moved from one to another. And like I said, the closest thing I got to like story, it was like in the middle of the movie with Grogu. And even then, I feel like it could have been fleshed out a little more, especially with the other character. I don't want to say that stuff. I came in with low expectations, hoping that, or maybe I came in with higher expectations. Because maybe I was fooling myself, being like, oh yeah, no, this is gonna be bad, and secretly I thought it was gonna be good. It's not great. When it came down to the story, it needed another. It definitely was walked around, be like, okay, we'll do this, we'll go there, we'll do this, we'll go there. Again, emotional weight. Doesn't have to be galaxy spreading event. It just needs to carry some emotion. And believable emotion. Grogu had believable emotion. The Acolyte does not have believable emotion. The Force, the Rise of Skywalker. Oh, let's go with The Last Jedi. Luke, in my opinion, does not have believable emotion, especially just because of the first impression. He could have it. I think he had it maybe later. It wasn't enough to convince me at the beginning. It actually was like, yeah, no. And that's why I kind of feel like is that we had a big old middle finger thrown at us again. I'm not happy about it. I'm really hoping that we can just get to the stories that matter, like things with weight that actually seem believable. That's the big thing, is seem believable. And when you have, I think, the people who kind of make this kind of stuff, I don't know. I used to believe in Filoni. Like, he's made some great stories. I don't want to say that he's bad at telling stories. He's not. But dude, you can do better than that. I mean, do you want, if someone can make a show where clone troopers, which became so freaking popular of who these clones are, that you made an entire show of just 5 of them that were brand new, and you got people to watch the first season. It's beside the point. You can, like, to start with, in my opinion, the big one was Umbara, was a big one, where you got the weight of these clones. You don't have anybody else. It's just straight clone story. And I get that you got those other ones, but I feel like Umbara was the big one. There was setup to it, and it paid. And it paid, and it paved the way. This movie needed to pave the way. And instead, it was laid out. It was not paved. It was just laid out. They're like, this is the area. You can do it. It's like having an actual walking trail to just a wooded area. Like, oh look, I can walk down that way. I don't know. I'm disappointed. You think with who you saw running it would do it, but boy, I gotta double check this. What is Kathleen Kennedy? What is Kathleen Kennedy? Kathleen Kennedy's involvement. Wow, someone actually put it out in Star Trek. The Mandalorian. Grogu. Kathleen Kennedy's role includes greenlighting the initial series as president and hands-on producer for television show and hands-on producer. Producer role. Alongside her formal executive duties, she serves as active producer and collaborates with directors and creators Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni on story decisions, casting, and character development. Oh yeah, that didn't catch. I was screaming. I was literally, oh my god, I just read the whole thing this last hour! This is what I just said, what was wrong with the movie. What? She serves as an active producer. She collaborates with directors. I was like, there's no way that Filoni could have like something good like that go to that. And creators like Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni on story decisions. Story decisions. The thing I was talking about this last hour. Casting. Thing I was talking about. Well, I might not have said that there was casting. I didn't really talk about that, but I will say character development was the thing I was talking about for the last fucking hour. Oh my god, why did I look that up? Oh my god. This was character guidance. She actively helped define Grogu's on-screen presence. Fine. You made Grogu be cared for. She officially confirmed that despite developing his force powers, he will not speak English with Zion. Okay, so Grogu still doesn't speak, obviously. Okay, great. Oh my goodness. Literally, the things I literally just was talking about this whole last hour, I was just like, okay, now let's go over here and be like, okay, what was Kathleen Kennedy's role? I know she was involved. I didn't know for certain what she was involved. And instead, it looks like everything I was just fucking complaining about. It was literally, I don't know what specifically she had input on, so I can't fault her for that. But these are all areas where she has a hand in. And why? What happened? What happened? Oh my god, I feel like my mind just exploded! God. Oh. 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 God. I don't think you should have creative decisions, Kathleen Kennedy, at all. If you have a comment, let me know what you think about Kathleen Kennedy. Because clearly you got my idea of it right there. Because I don't know what the hand that was touched is. What is the role? What is this bullshit? Who put their hand in the cookie jar without washing their hands? That's what I want to know. Who's the idiot? Because right now we have a 2 out of 3 situation and the third person currently is out the door. But here's the fear. What if it's more than one person? Of being like, oh yeah, no, let's agree with that. Let's agree with the bad idea. Was it, oh, that's a bad idea, and she agreed with it and approved it? Or is it, she had an idea, we had some suggestions, well, let's work around that. Let's get this, let's definitely get this in here. Let's get these guys, or let's not. Let's work with that. Maybe there's something along those lines. It's always gray between the lines. It's always a touch of gray. Okay? So I always think it's always something in between the most extremes. It's never going to be anything absolute. There's going to be some variation. Okay? But what? Who compromised? Who? Because right now it's all of them are at fault. This is definitely everybody's at fault here. You approved it. Somebody approved it. Somebody else approved it. And if what is Jon Favreau's role and Dave Filoni role in the movie not acting in parentheses? Director Favreau, or Jon Favreau, is the main director. Okay. I can see that. I didn't complain about what the direction of it was. I did complain about things. Lead writer, okay. Primary screenwriter, crafting the story's core plot. Regarding the remnants of the Galactic Empire. So, what? So now we're getting more into this now. So now we're diving deeper into this. Okay. Let's see. I'm actually gonna we're gonna be doing some let's see. Hold on. Display, no. Computer game capture, no. Nope, that's display sound. Web window. Ah. And bam. And transition. Ta-da. I'm fairly certain I'm not streaming vertically, so I'm just gonna get rid of that little indicator. Alright, so am I in the way? I feel like I'm in the way. I am a little bit in the way. Ew. That one. Let's just make this a little bigger. So we have Jon Favreau. We'll start with that. So above me we have our roles. Primary screenwriter, crafting the story's plot regarding the remnants in the Galactic Empire. So essentially, this is so what it sounds like is that this movie got broken up into 3 writing parts. We have Filoni, or Favreau, who is in charge of writing the plots with the Empire, which makes me sound like he has to try walking around things so that he doesn't have to include Thrawn and stuff like that because he was told not to, or something like that. That's where I see that coming in. Okay? He's also a producer. well, one of the three producers, is producing the movie through the production company banner Fairview Entertainment alongside Lucasfilm. Okay, fair. Now we go on to Dave Filoni. So, again, that's what I was thinking, but that's what I'm going with. Dave Filoni's role. Co-writer. Filoni. Okay, so now we get into another part of this. Filoni heavily collaborated on the script, co-writing the screenplay alongside Favreau to maintain continuity with the broader Star Wars lore. Why the fuck do I keep saying this shit then? You'd think I'd be right on one of these things, but no, apparently Favreau just writes that, and Filoni's the one who's like, oh, we can't do this because of that. Yes, we saw you twice in the movie, Filoni. I didn't give a crap. Okay? I know you're there. I don't think it's that important to include yourself in it. If anything, just have the background character. That do the George Lucas thing. Now you're an actual character, and now you are going to have a name or whatnot down the line. Great. I don't give a shit about that. It doesn't sound like an interesting character. We know who you are. I don't give a crap that you're in it. Yes, if I was in it too, yeah, I would love to put myself in it, but I'm not like that. I'd be like, yeah, give me a freaking background role. I would love to be that. Kill me off. I don't give a crap. I'd be like, yeah, I'm in the universe as a freaking background guy. That means I'm still in the universe. I don't care. Okay. So Favreau, I would think, would have had a better understanding of Star Wars, and I think he does. Filoni, however, is like, I think with this being Kathleen, is like, okay, we need to not have anything from this point be like, I don't know, maybe they're cutting her off, be like, yeah, let's take everything Kathleen wanted and cut that out. I don't know. But he's a co-writer, and he's to maintain continuity, but then even he's got corrected by Sam Witwer during the Clone Wars. And I know that's a long time ago. I know it's a long time ago. But people make mistakes. I'm not perfect. You can't just have one person be like, oh yeah, you're our proof reviser or something like that. Got the second unit director. Beyond playing story, Filoni stepped behind the camera for a second unit director overseeing action sequences, B-roll footage, and background filming. I'm trying to understand the plan that this is. So, why am I going off of this? Because he's a director. He's an animated director. He does well with animation. He knows what he wants. He can get what he wants in animation. This was definitely one of those things where it looks good, I think, in some aspects, but in some aspects it's also learning. I don't know. I'm starting to get tired. Again, I've ranted so long. It's an hour, 20 minutes of talking about Star Wars. Not even. Producer and studio oversight. Sounds more like Kathleen. Okay, well then I will ask Kathleen when she was in all this trio. He is an executive producer on the film because he also leads Lucasfilm's creative direction alongside Lin-Wen Brennan. Ensures the movie directly connects to upcoming projects like Ahsoka Season 2. Oh no! They did an Ahsoka in the middle of the movie? Are you saying to watch Season 2 of Ahsoka you have to watch the Mandalorian the Mandalorian and Grogu movie to understand that? But you don't need the Mandalorian series to understand the movie? What? Is that what I'm getting from this? Because there is no way that any of that really seemed like it connected to Ahsoka, besides maybe any of the Imperials, or the Imperial that freaking Mando captured, and maybe Raha. That's it. That is literally it. Oh, he didn't need to actually know. We just got, like, just say, like, oh yeah, we caught this bounty hunter, and there we go. Ahsoka starts. Connection. Besides, maybe Zeb. Oh, Zeb hangs out with Mando and Grogu? How did that happen? Nope, and then doesn't explain to us. They didn't even be like, oh yeah, when Rada's with them, he's like, oh yeah, we met over doing this one mission and blah blah blah. Whatever. That would have been something. Feel bad. I don't like feeling bad after a Star Wars movie. I never expected to feel bad after a Star Wars movie. Even The Last Jedi. I didn't feel bad coming out of it. Okay? So, don't tell me like I think The Last Jedi is a terrible movie. I don't think it's a terrible movie. I think it's a bad movie. But not for the reasons. I have my opinions. Just because one's man trash does not mean another man will like it. Okay? I still came out of that movie enjoying it. Was it what I wanted? No. The Last Jedi. However, this one, I felt like I had more, I want to say, invested in this than I did probably The Last Jedi. You have The Rise of Skywalker. The Force Awakens. Which, let's be honest, I saw it twice. And I remember enjoying it. I was like, this can be given a chance. It depends on what goes forward. I did not like Big Day. I did not like the story choices with Rose and plotting a whole oh, that's louder than I thought. Oh, whoops. I don't know. I guess I have to say I was expecting a better movie. I'm disappointed. We have what I saw. I love Star Wars. I don't give a crap what people think. Because otherwise, if I did, I wouldn't be liking Star Wars with my personal beliefs. Okay? I enjoy the story. That's what I go for. And the story wasn't filled with emotion. It was, you broke a freaking deal with the Hutt. Yeah, that could be story worthy. I agree. But it went out. It didn't carry any emotion. That's my problem with that plot. The emotion of that plot. Because it didn't become like, yeah, like even when Mando first meets Bo-Katan, when he first meets Bo-Katan rescues Grogu from the Beast, or someone rescues Grogu from the Beast, from the Aqualish, and I felt like that had more emotion because Din was really caring about Grogu at that point. Whereas this, I felt like we got the Pedro Pascal Mandalorian that you see at the beginning of Mando season 1 when it comes down to who he is, but as I don't know, it's all over. I can't say it was enough to be like, it's not like I like sand lines. There's none of that. I'm not saying the writing was bad. You did what you have to, but I don't wanna be the bearer of bad news, and I don't want it to be bad. Who knows? Maybe I'm wrong, and somehow this is a secret hit. I didn't see a secret hit. Solo, I think was. Here's the problem. I can't say this without making it sound bad either way, because I like Solo, and I'm saying it's about as decent as Solo. But as I've said before, in the world of like mid 2000s, this would be a TV movie. That's all it would be. It'd be like, oh yeah, well we can make we don't put commercials in it, make it a couple hours, there you go, or something like that. That's what it felt like, because it was not emotional of going from one thing to another. There were hey, I've seen that before. Oh, I've seen that, and like there's the references, like the puzzle piece creature, or not the puzzle piece, the creature from the Dark board. So, I mean, the emotional part of the story, the emotion, I feel like there could have been emotion with the huts. There was no emotion. It was like, let's fight. We're gonna fight. Fight. My aunt and uncle want me dead. Great, work with that. No, let's just run away. Oh, he's captured and brought to the huts anyways. Okay, great. Yep, and we know who that happened. Did we get a death in this movie? Yes. Is it who you expected? Probably. Are you expecting a new death or someone important dying? Oh, no. Do you expect something to have consequences? Maybe. Do the consequences pay off? Do you fuck around, you find out? No. Sort of, but no. So, I thought this was going to be like one of those movies, be like, alright, this is the ending, we're putting a cap to this, we're going to do a thing here, and then we're going to be like, okay, we're going to jump to the future with Grogu being older or something. That would have been big. I thought they were just going to be like, okay, we're cutting down to like, okay, we're done with the Mando, well, like, Grogu's something in the future. And like after Din's gone and whatnot, or something like that. Be like, okay, now we're doing this time. Or something like that. Be like, okay, now we're doing something fresh. Something new. Something, let's put it this way. It would be like opening the door between worlds, if you will. It'd be a new thing. It'd be future. Granted, it would be past everything. And the problem with when coming up with future of what you already have is you gotta make it future of what you already have. You got there's differences between future tech, past tech, and then when the tech also all seems like it's from the 1970s too. Gotta increase some tech advances here and there. What you increase is the big question. It seems like a whole different problem. Sounds like a fun problem, because then you're essentially creating a new world, or when it comes down to that. But even so, you can do it's the same thing with the past, except that's easier. You deconstruct what you already have. Or be like prototype. Easy. Like, this will be hidden. It's a prototype, blah, blah, blah. Well, it's possible. We know it's possible. But let's see. I've been talking for a bit now. Let's see, an hour and a half. Ranting about Mando and Grogu. It's 12:11. I don't know if I said my piece, but let's go quick ad. Okay. What? Okay. Add Kathleen Kennedy. Kathleen Kennedy. To this role list and explain. Kathleen, there's too many E's. I didn't feel like correcting it. Don't worry, AI gets it. Yeah. So we got all three. The primary role producer explanation. While Favreau and Filoni handle the daily script writing and directing, Kennedy provides high-level creative guidance and financial management. Means she secures the film's massive budget, manages production resources, and collaborates directly with Favreau on macro-level story points. So she essentially has the final say on stuff because she's like, I have the money, I get to use it. Creative boundary that Grogu will not speak or on the big screen. It's because she buys the puppets. She's the one. I'm the puppet. I buy the puppet. I tell you what to do with the puppet. That's how it goes. God, I wish I could throw something. Do I have a meltdown again? Hopefully not. That's why I had the lo-fi music going on. So, even after handing off the day-to-day president role to Lucasfilm, Filoni, and Lemon Brennan, she remains active hands-on producer for this specific movie. Blah blah blah. She produced at one time. She doesn't produce. She takes control now. I bet at one point, George Lucas yelled at her over something, and then that's what set her in line when it came down to some stuff way back when she was younger. And over time, you forget these lessons. For example, like a robber who always, or a thief who always knows how to do the best way to do this. After a while, they get lazy and then they get caught. Ta-da! Guess what? Kathleen Kennedy probably got lazy, and now she's getting caught in the eyes of the public because nobody at Star Wars, I guess, wants to say, "Hey, that's a dumb." Either that, or they're looking at it, be like, "That's misogynistic." Fuck Steve. Did that again. I forgot I gotta turn that off. Sorry. Wish I had better news for you. Come on. Move. Uh-oh. Nope. I've been clicking the wrong thing. Oh. I can only hope that this next project works. And if it doesn't, Star Wars might be dead. The nail that might be the final nail in the coffin for Star Wars. Because this ain't it. This was definitely a project that was definitely not meant to succeed. If you think it was meant to succeed, you ain't watching the movie. Because it's goldfish bait. It's freaking slow, or it's scene to scene to scene to scene, not story. Why do we move this? We obviously know why, but why not this other way? Why not this? Why are you not calling whatever? Why aren't you not talking to this person? Why is this thing not here? It is disgraceful that they didn't have a tribute to grief in this. There is no like, they already did the same freaking thing with Cara Dune, and they fired her. Like, great, you ruined that part, and that was what a lot of people liked in the show at that point. You didn't even think about bringing her back. No, obviously you cut that bridge off, or someone did. I don't know who. Doesn't matter. Bridge is burnt. You have no explanation for grief at all in this. You'd think there'd be at least a tribute. No, like it there was no emotion. It's the bounty hunter is the bounty hunter, but this is the movie. We're not watching a movie to be like, oh yeah, this bounty hunter just hunts this guy in a certain way. No, we're there because there's more to it than just that. There's more to the stories when it comes down to it. And it's not people. I hate when people say Star Wars is always a kids movie. Yes, it's a kids movie. But if you look deeper, it can also be more than that. You can look deeper into it. I don't care. Like, yes, every movie has, like, if you want a movie with weight to it, you add emotion to it. While you add emotion to it, you don't just say like, oh, we're going here because of this. You add it because there's the weight to add to it. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm not a producer. I'm not great with words. I just... Maybe the words needed to be better in the movie. Maybe the actions need to be better in the movie. Maybe the sequence need to be put in a better way. Something about this movie wasn't helping it. And I couldn't say... like I said, there's a Grogu moment or a whole thing in this thing. That's where it just kind of held. That's the most emotional point of the entire movie. You think there would be some emotion with Rada explaining on why his aunt and uncle would like him dead, which if you don't know a hut, if you haven't seen any Star Wars, if you know a hut, that's what a hut would do. Doesn't matter if you've seen a freaking whatever. Count Dooku tried killing Rada and being like, oh yeah, Zero, and that was from freaking Zero, another one. So, or no, Kidnap. But even so, that's from the first movie. Like, you would expect that from a hut to be betrayal or some form like that. I was not expecting the voice. I will say that. I was not expecting the voice. I didn't know who was playing Rada or anything like that. I was expecting another Huttese. And you know what? That's another thing. Not expecting a Hutt to not speak Hutt. Granted, it happened before. Not expecting it from those two. From the cousins. Nor Rada. Considering Jabba was... this might be from a book, a Legends book, but I remember Jabba always treated as disrespect if you knew Huttese specifically, you should try speaking Huttese. There's something about with moving teeth to the front and the back or something like that. Maybe that's in Tales of the Mos Eisley Cantina, if I recall. which is a Legends book. So that's a thought. But when it comes down to it, yeah, I've had better Star Wars movies to go through, but I've also experienced worse Star Wars. But this ain't high on that list. Do you want? And let's clear this up. Where's Star Wars? Okay. Last Jedi, Acolyte, you got the comedy from episode 1, whereas episode 1 is meant to be the setup, and it's the setup emotion of that entire trilogy. There's a whole thing with that I would rant about when it comes down to that one, because you can call me partial on that. It's just it sets up a 10-year jump. Yes, there's a 10-year jump, blah blah blah, Anakin trains. That one, I don't know. It's these whole jumping of the times always is whenever it changes, and you're like, oh, we're doing this one immediately after. Oh, we're doing this one 10 years after. Oh, it's only been a year. It's not necessarily explained of how long these things go. But I know in from episode 1 to episode 2, there's that jump, which is the necessary jump. But then there's like a 2-year jump between 2 and 3 and whatnot. And then 30 years between 3 and 4, and then all that. Why did we do another big jump between or why are we doing I definitely don't like definitely did not like the fact that The Last Jedi had straight of, oh, okay, they're on their way. That is like what I would call Battle of Yavin. So if you were on my stream yesterday, I was playing Star Wars Battlefront. Well, I was playing the Rebels versus Empire and whatnot. So if you didn't know, after the Death Star blows up, I don't know if this is still canon, but what originally happened is that the Empire, the people who were able to get off the Imperial Star space station, the Star Space Station, they took off and descended onto the Yavin base and wiped out everyone there. They ended up having to flee and then bouncing around throughout the galaxy until you end up with episode 5. Because Luke ends up branching out, making his own cell. That's essentially what 5 is. It's like they got independent cells. When they leave, they're like, oh, we're going to rejoin the fleet. Oh, they're gathering their strength again. This is the Last Jedi starts off with directly after, and I don't think that works well for a Star Wars movie. Like, I think the jump from 8 to 9 I think worked, but that's what I would say on that. It's 10:24. I have stuff I gotta get doing. I talked about this movie for a while. Thank you for watching. Please leave a like. Subscribe down below. I appreciate everything. If you want to let me know what your thoughts are on Mandalorian Grogu. I felt so awful when I read what possibly Kathleen Kennedy could have done to this movie, or what the other two could have done. It's a touch of gray. I don't know who's responsible. Someone is responsible, but they don't have to answer to me. But if a lot of people get loud enough with their wallets, that'll be the consequences for someone. And I hope it's Kathleen Kennedy, because that's she's made some good things, but not a lot of great things. And then, like, who knows? It could be Filoni, who's been, I don't know if he has it anymore after this, or who knows? Could somebody be pulling his strings? Are you agreeing with this? Are you approving this for the overall? Like, great. I don't know if there's any, I don't think there's any continuity errors or anything like that. Great. I didn't feel any weight. So, and then Favreau, he's a director. He has a vision. I didn't think there was an issue with the vision, but when it comes down to the Empire stuff, I feel like there could have been a little bit more, or at least could have done something a little better than last second. Okay, boom, go. Or maybe I've just seen that point too many times. So, and like I said, I watched everything, all the trailers like that once. This is just coming into it. So, take your own time, see it when you want. I can't say, I would say go see it on opening day, because that's what I did. That was yesterday. But it's enjoyable. But if you want more from it, I'm sorry. So I will see you next week. Take her easy.